is me. I was born in New York City. I live in Tokyo. I've been blogging for 10 years. I organized BarCamp in 2007 in Tokyo. I participated last year in Bangkok. I work in Mozilla. And today my talk is a few quick minutes about South Korea and why and how the South Korean internet is different from the internet everywhere else in the world. So you know about South Korea, maybe you visited there, maybe you have friends there. A very high-tech country, maybe highest tech country in the world. Many, majority people on broadband, majority people using 3G wireless. And they're launching next generation wireless technology. A very, very wired country. I went to South Korea for the first time in 2007 to learn about the internet market. I had meetings with all the major internet businesses in South Korea. And I learned something very interesting. And I was the first person to write about this information in English. Basically, in South Korea, you can only use Microsoft operating system and Microsoft Internet Explorer to do a secure transaction on the internet. So any e-banking, e-government, online stock trading, e-commerce, all of those you must use IE, and you must use Windows. And
it's the same in Thailand.
Oh, really? And you also have to have a Korean national ID number. So if you're a foreigner in Korea, you cannot do any of these things. So this was the reason is because they use an ActiveX control to do all these things. And ActiveX obviously only works in IE. So there was a big problem when Microsoft launched Vista because they changed, in Vista there was a change in the way ActiveX controls worked. Before they ran by default, with the first version of IE7 you had to click to run. And so many Korean websites broke. And so this was news, but I didn't know about it. So I wrote this article called The Cost of Monoculture at the beginning of 2007. And I explained all of this information about why is the South Korean internet different. And the simple answer is that South Korea was very early to the internet. And they needed to have a 128-bit encryption technology before SSL, which is the current technology that we all use, was available for use. So they went and made their own standard, which only is used in South Korea. So even today, everyone in South Korea uses Windows. Everyone in South Korea uses IE. In practice, what this means is that for every single website where you need to do some kind of secure transaction, you have to download a new ActiveX control. So this is the Windows Explorer for XP for a friend of mine who's one of the technologists at DOM Communications, the #2 search engine. And he has thousands of these ActiveX controls, which I think most people, they have a few. So this article was picked up by Boing Boing, by Slashdot, CNET, Salon, and for myself and for Mozilla as well, we really believe that an open web is very important. So we tried to, or we're still trying to help in any way. There are a few Koreans who are trying to force the government to change with lawsuits. So I went and spoke to the South Korean government, the Fair Trade Commission, about this issue. Nothing happened. We tried to support a lawsuit, and I'll tell you a little more about that. This is Danny, what's Danny's last name? I forget. He's a very popular Korean blogger, Techno Kimchi. This is from September 2008, still 99% IE. Korean University professor has tried a lawsuit against the government. That has failed. And the situation is still the same. That's my presentation.
How about this? Is there not, has anyone ever tried to determine whether there's like a dramatically increased number of security issues in there?
There are. Whenever a big Windows virus comes through, South Korea gets hit much more than other nations because everybody's on Windows.
I guess they're so used to it, they think it's normal.
Yeah. Well, there's no other option. There's no Windows users. There's no Linux users. There's no Apple users.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no Apple Store in South Korea.
So these lawsuits, what are they actually targeting?
The lawsuits are trying to say I should have the right to choose my own browser, or I should have the right to use, in one lawsuit it was the right to use Firefox because it's supported on multiple platforms. But the lawsuits have failed.
So the lawsuit is against Microsoft?
No, the lawsuits are against the government bodies that have created these rules.
Why did these lawsuits fail?
We're still waiting for more information.
Close the door.
So nobody actually uses SSL now?
Nobody in Korea uses SSL.
I mean, nobody actually implements site that you say.
I'm sorry?
Nobody there actually implements site that uses SSL
Yeah, there's almost no SSL usage in South Korea
because it's forced to use SSL.
because people are using other technologies.
I wonder how people secret transaction from outside Korea to Korea.
If you're Korean and you're living outside of Korea, you have Windows and you can do it.
Well, the other way around is asking. If you are Korean and you live in Korea, you need to do a secure transaction with a US bank or...
Oh yeah, then you can use, IE or Firefox, yeah.
Okay, I'd just like to share something. Another issue is that the official certificate authority of South Korea, there's around 6 certificate authority, official ones. And on the paper, these certificate authorities is supposed to work across browsers. But in actual fact, for you to load or download the details of the CA, it can only work in IE. So you need ActiveX to actually download the CA list. So this is another problem that why Korea has so little non-IE users.
Was it a deliberate government policy to give this, or this is a just very successful commercial?
I don't think it was even that. In the old days when we had Netscape and Microsoft, they had both. And then Netscape died, and nobody is using Netscape, and so the Netscape plugin doesn't work. So it's kind of like history and fate. It's not.
Sort of like just by chance, just so happens that everybody happens to use IE.
Well,
Because of circumstances prior.
yeah.
Well, okay, thank you very much. A bit of an oxymoron there. A bit of an oxymoron, but